What's popular, YouTube? Another day, another news video. It's number 3. We're becoming more and more consistent. The time interval between news videos is getting less and less every single time. I mean, it was like one, and then a millennium later, another one, and now a week later, another one. I mean, the next one might be tomorrow at this rate, so that's good. But the reason is because the news is coming in thick and fast, especially with a lot of the developments happening at the major. People are trying to beat the news cycle of waiting till the major's over to make their roster moves or announce changes or go after players. Okay, so that leads us into a few different teams to talk about what they've done. So first of all, if you guys missed it, Spirit actually let go, or they temporarily benched their CSGO roster and made it clear that they were looking forward to looking for more options and we're going to stay in the game. But it wasn't clear if they were suddenly going to wipe the team. Like, who knows if they're going to do something crazy? Like, what if they picked up Copenhagen Flames, who are up for sale? That's actually a big talking point right now. Someone brought up you could get ROPS for like $2 billion, or you could get Copenhagen Flames for 500 to 750K and get all 5. ROPS, Copenhagen Flame. I mean, they almost went farther. So it's an interesting thing where that kind of level of craziness could have been possible for Spirit. But instead, what happened is that they have benched Mir and Chopper, who are going to look for a different team to play on. Mir is having an amazing year. So far, he was looking to be in the top 10. If Spirit had a deep run at the major and a couple of higher placing at some of the more competitive tournaments towards the end of the year, literally could have been a top 10 rifler, even though he's playing on Spirit and they're playing a lot of their tier 2 matches and stuff like that. So that's a big shame. But Mir and Chopper have been buds, right? They've been playing together for so long. It does make sense that if Chopper was the one who got benched, and my suspicion is Chopper is the one who maybe they want the person that they wanted to maybe let go to try a new IGL, that Mir wanted to go with him. And in my head, he's the guy who I thought, okay, this team on paper, Magix, Degster, Mir, and SDY, super solid. If they try a new IGL, maybe they could break ground. And it seems like maybe that is the thought process. So they get in Patsy. He used to play on a team with Degster. The first demo review I did on Degster, I think Patsy was on his roster. If you want to see it, it was a train game where he was entering on T-side. A lot of rifle rounds from Degster in that one, but it's a good one. And he's also the IGL for the team. And then there's k0nfig, or k0nfig, or Aaron.
You done messed up, Aaron!
Or something. This guy that doesn't even have an HLTV photo, who is just some probably FPL demon here to farm on behalf of Spirit. Who knows what k0nfig is capable of? No one knows. Sky's the limit. I mean, there's no shortage of Russian talent, CIS talent. So I'm not surprised to see a name that I haven't heard of that is probably just insane that other people know about. Looking forward to this new lineup for sure. Astralis. This is the team that everybody wants to talk about right now. And it's because they've completely flipped the script, okay? Astralis now have removed Dupree, removed Magisk, and removed Zonic. And I guess you could say removed, but also they might have self-benched here because their contracts were coming up. They didn't want to re-sign. And who they have in their place? The Bully Bros. blameF and k0nfig have come on to Astralis, and goddamn, do they look good in these jerseys. It's such a legendary, it's the most legendary lineup in the history of the game, period. Like, Astralis, best to ever do it, no questions. No one's even really close in history. And for that to end, it sucks. But at the same time, it's kind of ending in an interesting way, almost a good way, where it's not just slowly becoming more decrepit and stale and depressing, and then they fall apart. It's instead a whole new freshness level brought to the roster with Glaive and Zipic signing till 2025. Who would have thought Zipic's going to sign 2025, by the way? That caught us everyone out of left field. But then bringing in Blame and k0nfig, who are in the middle of their careers, in their prime still. I mean, k0nfig is now a cyborg. Just got his hand surgery after breaking his hand, falling in the airport, drinking Starbucks, and he's going to be coming back stronger now. And if you've seen his tweets, you've seen how much this affected him in the last few weeks. But he's over it, signed to Astralis. I was watching Blame's stream right after the Complexity thing. And he kept saying, oh, Complexity benched me, Complexity benched me. And he seemed very happy to say that, or just fine with it. And I was thinking, like, can you really bench blameF? He is your lineup. I mean, For me, separating blameF from complexity is as big as separating someone like Jason Lake from complexity, with the amount of brand identity that comes with blameF. You know, he's the IGL. He was the top 6 player last year. He's the guy who's basically style defines the team, and all the pieces are getting changed around him. But then coldzera and Peacemaker come in, they get 16-0 twice in 1 month. The team completely dies. I'm not trying to build connections here. I don't know what's going on. I'm just here watching. I just see the results, okay? And all we see now is that complexity have no players besides Cold and Peacemaker. I'm not saying anything. I don't know. I don't know shit. But I'm really happy to see blameF and k0nfig on Astralis, because I'm loving the idea that Glaive gets to play with k0nfig for the first time. I think a lot of people have always wanted to see that. Him and Valda are 2 players who I feel like I've always wanted to see eventually play on Astralis. And Blame was saying that he's ready to play any role, which means he was totally down to not call anymore. He said he would do pretty much anything except for op. I think he's going to have trouble entering with arms that big, but he can't move. He can't really flick that wide. I mean, let's be real. Mr. Synthol arms over here. He's not entering out B Mirage. No. But I think he can be a bit more versatile and try some new stuff on the team. So they got k0nfig to replace dupreeh, which is a one-to-one. You know, you can totally see why that would just work. They could play Mirage now. They're gonna have blameF and k0nfig. Astralis can literally play Mirage now. They have one of the best cap players of all time, and a team that already just love Mirage, which is really interesting. And they're just really new for that reason. And also. blameF kind of coming in as maybe a second IGL to where Magisk could have helped out in that regard. And Magisk actually showed that he was quite a good IGL when Glaive at first took his breaks. It wasn't perfect, but afterwards, the second time Glaive took a break, you had trouble actually seeing like where the flaws were. You could see some rounds where Magisk was calling where it was like maybe not as perfect as Glaive was, or as complicated, or whatever. But he did a great job and brought his own style to it, and I think. I'm looking forward to see where they go. Now, there's the idea that maybe dupreeh and Magisk are going to go onto NIP. And I will say, despite this major right now, anything can happen. And hopefully anything can happen and we can get a new change to Furia. But in the playoffs, despite the results for NIP, for LNZ and for Plopsky, in my opinion, they're going to be worried, okay? They're not going to want to go, -3 on the map. They don't want to. I can't have 60 ADR and lose. You know what I'm saying? They gotta actually, like, even if they're getting better and the team is doing well, Device needs to win right now. NIP just put tons of money into that. They have the chance after a major to make a major move. In my opinion, Plopsky and LNZ are going to be the first to feel the brunt of that force. And I think like it wouldn't be a bad idea to develop them and whatever, because there's definitely tons of potential, and neither of them at the top of their careers. But now that NIP are not an underdog team, you have a different standard when it comes to roster moves. You kind of have to make those big plays to get results much more quickly. And I think that there's a chance that could be dupreeh and Magisk to just join a Device over in Sweden. Could see it happening. I think a lot of people can. So we'll see. And also, we got to find Poison a home. We got to find Rush a home. We got to find JKS a home, and we got to find Bubsky a home still. We still need a home for Bubsky. Let's be honest. We need Bubsky. Just get out of there, okay? They don't care about you. Leave. They don't give a shit about you. Leave. You're too good to be sitting on the bench watching this team play. They literally got k0nfig right in front of your face. You were supposed to replace dupreeh. The problem for Bubsky was the fact that on that roster the entire time, he was subbing in for when Glaive was coming out, and Glaive and one other person. But with dupreeh on the roster, they never had room for Bubsky, Glaive, and dupreeh to all be 3 aggressive riflers on the same team. But now k0nfig comes in right for dupreeh, and Bubsky's like, what the hell, man? I was supposed to be good at that. They don't care. They don't care. So get out. iBUYPOWER Mythic Masters announces a $50,000 prize pool and North American tournament. This is something that I heard that Flom helped work on. This is going to be great for the North American scene. Tarek is going to be playing on a content or on EG but streaming as POV the whole time in the $50,000 event just to bring some more eyes and attention to North America. It's a region people wonder like, oh, why do we spend so much time in North America? Like even if when the region's big, everyone's shit. It's because North America is worth a lot, baby. We bring in the figures. Okay, people are watching tournaments because of North America. We bring in tier 1 sponsors. We have good crowds. There's a lot of reasons outside of how shit our players are that we want to keep giving the region a chance. So it is important. North America is a very nice region to have if you're trying to make money in sports. And right now, it couldn't be worse. So at least Tarek is spending half his time streaming CS, and is still willing to do this. And we have a chance to get something like this going. So shout out to iBUYPOWER for running this, and hopefully everybody takes it seriously. And yeah, I don't know, man. CS is really exciting right now, actually. And someone brought it up, like, why wouldn't you want to get involved in CS at the moment? It's super competitive. It's the most competitive it's ever been. And I agree with that. The only problem is it is very hyper focused on specifically Europe. And while that's super good for that region, it needs to be more international. I mean, listen, my favorite thing, one of the reasons that I loved being a caster at first was going to like some random Russian event and getting a couple of Chinese teams to come play like Vici or or getting a Korean team to come through like MVP PK, and just seeing players I've never seen before come in and like tear it up, or like win a map or do some shit, or watch like, Fallout on the old SK days come to play in like a DreamHack Masters and go crazy. It's like, I'm sick of watching Europeans playing against each other every single day. I'm tired of it, okay? I want shitty North Americans. I want like all these Asian teams. I want a Brazilian team. I want everybody to be playing an international stage. That's why I'm in it, dude. I want to travel over the world, go visit these people in different places, see different styles of CS, kind of breed in different regions, and not just have a homogenized one way to do things, perfect style. Yeah. Get out of here with that. I don't want it anymore. I'm sick of it. I'm already getting over the fact that this game's probably never taken us to Japan, but we start losing more regions, man. That's where it's crossing the line for me. So iBUYPOWER Masters, thank you so much. Appreciate you. Maybe I'll do a co-stream or something like that. Okay, that's it. Hope you have a good one. Be safe, and I'll catch you in the news video. Peace.